only once. How then could Pandavas tolerate his separation, for they had been intimately associated with his person, seeing him eye to eye, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping, sitting, and dining with him? Translation with repetition. The intelligent who have understood the Supreme Lord in association with pure devotees and have become freed from bad materialistic association can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though they have heard them only once. How then could the Pandavas tolerate his separation, for they had been intimately associated with his person, seeing him eye to eye, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping, sitting and dining with him? Purport. The living entity's constitutional position is one of serving a superior. He is obliged to serve by force the dictates of illusory material energy in different phases of sense gratification. And in serving the senses, he is never tired. Even though he may be tired, the illusory energy forces him to do so without satisfied perpetually. There is no end of such sense gratificatory business, and the conditioned soul becomes entangled in such servitude without any hope of release. The release is only effected by association of pure devotees. By such association, one is gradually promoted to his transcendental consciousness. Thus, he can know that his eternal position is to render service unto the Lord and not to be perverted senses in the capacity of lust, anger, desire to lord it over, etc. The material society, friendship, and love all are different phases of lust. Home, country, family, society, wealth, and all sorts of corollaries are all causes of bondage in the material world, where the threefold miseries of life are concomitant factor. By associating with pure devotees and by hearing them submissively, attachment for material enjoyment becomes slackened, and attraction for hearing about the transcendental activities of the Lord becomes prominent. Once they will go on progressively without stoppage like fire in a gunpowder. It is said that Hari, the personality of Godhead, is so transcendently attractive that even though who are self-satisfied by self-realization and are factually liberated from all material bondage also becomes devotees of the Lord. Under the circumstances, it is easily understood what must have been the position of the Pandavas, who were constant companions of the Lord. They could not even think of separation from Lord Shri Krishna because the attraction was more intense for them because of continuous personal contact. His remembrance by his form, qualities, name, fame, pastime, etc. is all attractive for the pure devotee. So much so that he forgets all forms, qualities, name, fame, and activities of the mundane world. And due to his mature association with pure devotees, he is not out of contact with the Lord for a moment. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Virvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We all know about the gopis, about the Vrajavasis and Radharani. Srila Prabhupada describes that how their devotion is unparalleled. And the reason being that the last verse we read about remembrance of the Lord and feeling the separation. So the gopis, especially when Krishna was in Vrindavan, they had a lot of interaction and they were always in one form or other associating with the Lord. And especially when Krishna left Vrindavan, all the more the gopis feeling the separation of the Lord, intense attraction, intense remembrance of the Lord that became even more acute. So much so that they were always eagerly waiting when the Lord will come back, when they can associate with the Lord. So knowing their plight, Krishna, knowing that the gopis, the Vrajavasis, they're always thinking of him, always remembering him, he sent Akrura to Vrindavan. And one of the purpose also was to meet these gopis and the Vrajavasis and tell them that very soon I'll be back. To give them hope. Just like here in this particular verse it's mentioned, how can the Pandavas tolerate his separation? Because Krishna, he is there in the heart. Krishna knows everything. He is the cause of all causes. So he knew that how they are so much in pain, transcendental pain, always longing for him. So he sent Akrura, and then one of the purpose was to tell them that very soon he'll be back. So Akrura, when he went and met the gopis and he told that very soon the Lord will be back, they immediately started cursing Krishna. Again, in transcendental humor, what is your Krishna? He is having no sense. He doesn't understand that how we cannot live without him. But he is so callous, so reckless, without even caring for about our feelings. He has left and gone. And he doesn't bother. He knows that we cannot stay without him, but still, he has gone. And the worst thing is, he doesn't care even to come back. Then Akrura said, no, I have come back. He has sent me. I want to just convey the message that very soon he'll be back. Again they started cursing. We don't trust him. Now he is in Dwarka, he'll be enjoying with the queens there. How does he care about us? So then Akrura told them, you are all advanced devotees. You're always thinking of Krishna. With your permission, can I suggest you something? Krishna says, Man, think of me. You're already thinking of him. If at all you feel his separation, you can sit quietly in undisturbed position and remember the Lord, and remembering the Lord, thinking of the Lord is as good as associating with the Lord, and you can feel the presence of the Lord. Again the gopis became more agitated. This meditation, thinking of Krishna, sitting in one place, all this is not this thing. We simply, because it's a fact that they were, like Vrajavasis, they were not educated, they were not very formal in their devotion. They had intense love for the Lord. Natural love had awakened, being pure devotees. So they said, no. Generally what happens when we say, to focus our mind, we say do meditation. The mind which is going all over the place, our attention which is so scattered, we say meditate, so that we can focus the attention on something. So the gopis, he says, no, we just simply love him. So then Akrura, after finishing whatever his assigned duties were, was coming back. And then all of a sudden he sees underneath a tree, one gopi is sitting and intensely trying to meditate. Typically meditative posture. So Akrura was surprised, what is this? What is she doing? So he got down from his chariot, approached that gopi and said, I am a messenger sent by Lord Shri Krishna. I just now spoke to your colleagues and they told me about their feelings, about their affection for the Lord. But I see you are trying to meditate, you're trying to sit erect, trying to focus your mind on something. What is it? What are you trying to do? So the gopi said, again she started cursing Krishna. Krishna is so callous. Krishna is heartless. He has left us and gone. And see our plight. We cannot live without him. So then Akrura said, but I'm asking you, what are you up to? You are sitting and you're trying to meditate in an erect posture. What are you meditating on? He says, our mind is so, every moment it is thinking about the Lord. I am trying to forget the Lord so that we can come out of this intense attachment. But what to do? I am not able to do so. My mind is always thinking of Krishna, always longing for love of Krishna. So, but why are you meditating? I am meditating somehow, so that I can control my mind and try to forget Krishna. We try to meditate for thinking of Krishna. Somehow think of Krishna. Chanting time, somehow a mind which is all over the place, attached to so many things, attracted to so many sense objects. We are trying to bring the mind on Krishna. The gopis already have their mind on Krishna. That is what exactly this verse is saying. They're always thinking of Krishna, and that is a state which pure devotees attain. They have developed attraction for the Lord, and which is also part of the process. Adhau Shata Sadhu Sangha Bhajan Kriya Anartha Nivriti. Nishtha means firm faith. Then Ruchi, taste. Right now our taste is also scattered. Sometimes on Krishna, most of the time on so many other sense objects. Then Asakti, attachment. Bhava, then transcendental feelings which the gopis, the devotees can feel every moment. And then prema, the love of God. So here Prabhupada in the verse, the purport is mentioning that constitutional position of the living entity is to serve a superior. Madhupandi Prabhu in one of the japa sessions, he explains that attention is an energy of the soul. He gives an example of a torchlight. If you have a torch in your hand, you can move the torchlight and wherever the light is falling, there's one particular point in which the light will fall. If you have a torch in your hand, either you can be facing in the right or left. So we can visualize our attention is an energy emanating from the soul. Attention energy. The constitutional position of the living entity is that attention is on Krishna. Thinking of Krishna. That's why Krishna says, my highest instruction is Sarva guhyatamam bhuya shrunu me paramam vachaha. And he says about manmana, think of me. So attention, thinking means what? Your attention is on Krishna. But in this material world, what has happened to our attention? The attention has got splashed, scattered on so many things, on family members, on sense objects, so many things which we long for, which we are anticipating. And the process of devotional service is how we can retract that attention which has got splashed on so many sense objects unintentionally or because of our material desires, because of the influence of modes, how we can pull it back and put it back on Krishna. This is the process. And once whose attention is fixed on Krishna and has tasted what is to be in a position where attention is fully focused on Krishna, the reciprocation the soul gets, the pleasure the soul gets in connection with the Lord, when attention is fully focused on the Lord, is then once that happens, then automatically the attention, why we are putting attention on so many, because there's hope for pleasure. Why sense objects? Because we have hope that this object will give me pleasure. So, chanting is a very, very important activity in our lives. Srila Prabhupada has given us instruction, chant minimum of 16 rounds. It's an opportunity to put our attention on Krishna. Where is Krishna? Krishna who has descended for us on our tongues. And our Shastras say, Nam Namino Abhinatvam. The name which has descended on our tongue is non-different from the Lord. So when we attentively hear, when we give our attention, Prabhupada also says, chant and hear that very chant. Sometimes people wonder, initially, invariably when people start chanting, so thinking of the Lord, Hare Krishna, you're trying to visualize, remember the form of the Lord. Prabhupada says, no. The Lord has come in the sound form. Lord has many incarnations in the deity form, prasadam, holy name. So Lord has come in the sound form. All we have to do is give our attention to that sound. Attentively hear. And if we give attention to the sound form, the Lord, I would strongly recommend all of you, because as part of our devotional life, we have to invariably spend time. We may not come to the temple, we may not at times read because of our schedule, but each one of us, the minimum what we do, if we also analyze some day, some festival day, you're very busy, you may not read, you may not do this thing, but somehow we'll catch up with our rounds. That commitment is very sacrosanct. Or if not on that day, the amount of commitment we have to our chanting may not be for other forms of devotional service, although it is important. Like for example, reading, if we miss for one day, we not necessarily feel guilty and that next day we have to catch up. It's good if we do that. But chanting, because we have taken commitment, even initiation at the time, 16 rounds I will do, we catch up the next day. So we spend a lot of time on chanting, so we should strive that how we can constantly improve the quality of our chanting. And the sessions which Madhu Pandit Prabhu took during the COVID time, the Soulful Japa, some of you would have heard. How many of you have heard some parts of it? Some. So what we did in Mumbai, the devotees sat together, and each of those 100 odd sessions, we made 5-minute clips. You could call it summary, you could call it gist, you would call it essence. So 1 hour session, the essence of it, the gist of it was made into a 5 minutes video. So I would share, Sadan Prabhu, I'll share with you the link of that Google Drive where all these 100 5-minute summary videos are there. I would strongly recommend each one of you to hear them. And sometimes when it's a 1 hour video, we don't get time, but 5 minutes is doable. So he talks about pre-japa work. Pre-japa work means before we spend time, just like a gardener when he plants the seeds, there is some pre-work to be done, tilling of the land, putting the manure, putting the water, making sure the condition is conducive for the seeds to germinate and grow. So likewise, we all have to do pre-japa work. Pre-japa work means hearing about the holy name. What are we doing during the process of chanting? What is the purpose? Why the Lord has descended? What is the Lord's expectation from us? See, when a salesperson comes to your doorstep, or let's say you get a call, there is an expectation of that person. He has come for a purpose. So likewise, when the Lord has descended on the tongue, He's expecting something from us. He has come for a purpose. What is that expectation? What will please the Lord? Why the Lord has descended? Out of His extreme compassion for us. Yesterday I was mentioning that how we, the soul, we are covered by 24 material elements. All around is material energy. Imagine if you are in an ocean, all around there is water. Miles and miles, miles and miles, miles and miles of water. Imagine an Atlantic Ocean in the middle of it. How can you come out? Just visualize, that is a scenario. The soul is covered by material energy. The immediate covering, the sukshma sharira, the gross body, the subtle body, it's all matter. Even mind is matter. And then all around is matter. All around is sense objects, waiting to grab our attention. So the soul is completely submerged in material energy. And there is no hope. Just visualize a scenario. You are in the middle of an Atlantic Ocean. The plane takes, how much time it takes? About 6-7 hours to cross? At 600 miles per hour. Takes about 6 hours. Just imagine, middle of this thing. You may be an expert swimmer. There is no hope to come out. That is the case of this soul, which is submerged in matter. But the Lord, out of His compassion, comes in the divine forms, transcendental forms, spiritual forms. This is called incarnation, nama, incarnation, holy names. And with all His energies and potencies, nam, akari, bahuda, nija, sarva shaktis. And when we are chanting that Atma, which has one energy, this consciousness, attention, it's an opportunity for us to put that attention on the Lord. In chanting, many of us may not be aware. When we are chanting, many times unknowingly, unintentionally, we'll be mechanically chanting. In other words, it is possible that we are chanting, our beads are moving, but our attention is somewhere else. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Mind is thinking of something else. When we are thinking of some thought, our attention is on that thought. We are doing what are we doing? We are doing thinking. And what are we knowing? We are knowing that thought. Kriya Chesta and Jnana Chesta. Kriya Chesta means what we are doing, and Jnana Chesta means what we are knowing. These are two fundamental soul energies. So what are we doing? We are doing thinking. And what are we knowing? What we are thinking about the thought. Some plans, I will do this. And this happens very often. Some of you would experience. And unfortunately, many times, we are not even conscious of it. We are chanting, beads are moving, and we get a feeling that my chanting is done, I'm doing my chanting. That still will have some effect, but not the full effect. What is good chanting? The attention, doing energy, doing attention, knowing attention is fully on the nama, with the understanding that Lord is there on my tongue. He is expecting that I give my attention. He has come for me out of His compassion, out of unlimited kindness for me. He has descended on my tongue and with all His energies, and I can touch Him. I can contact Him. I can purify my consciousness. So these 5 minutes clips have all these insights, very essence, and I would strongly recommend 5 minutes, 1 clip, 2 clip, every day if you could read, you could hear before your japa. It will really enhance the quality of japa. And which is very important. In fact, it says, Kaler dosha nedhe rajan asti rekoma. There is only one good quality, although there are many bad qualities. What is that? By chanting Krishna's name. Kirtanad eva Krishnasya. Harir nama, Harir nama, Harir nama eva hi kevalam. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. So while we are so fortunate by Prabhupada's mercy, we have taken a commitment to chant the holy names, we should also take commitment to improve the quality of chanting on an ongoing basis. Never ever we should be complacent, never ever we should be satisfied with our chanting quality. We should look for satisfaction, but not transcendental dissatisfaction should be there, just like we talked about Krishna anxiety yesterday. Transcendental dissatisfaction of not having chanted properly. Only when that longing will be there, then Krishna will show us. So, constantly when we improve the quality of a chanting, just like the Pandavas here are expressing, cannot miss, just like, some of you maybe, we are all very fortunate that we got some insights about soulful japa. And I shouldn't be glorifying, but then Madhu Pandit Prabhu has been doing 108 rounds for last many Ekadashis. You're aware of it. Chanting 108 rounds can be done only if somebody has developed attachment. Otherwise, many times 16 round also is a burden. Not a burden in the sense we wait for our rounds to get over. One person told me very frankly, he says, why the 16th round seemed to be very, very pleasing. There is special taste in the 16th round. Because that somehow commitment what was there is to chant 16 rounds is about to get over. It's like when you do parikrama, okay, 1 kilometer left. And you fade okay, only 1 kilometer left. So that's our state. So, just briefly to tell you, many times our chanting which we may not be aware is inattentive. Our mind is somewhere else. We are thinking of some thought. Doing and knowing the thought. But what we are supposed to do is do and know the nama. And one of the symptom of one of the symptoms, there are many symptoms, one of the symptoms if we are doing attentive chanting is that it will be nectarian, it will be very tasty, and we will not feel tired. Time will fly by. You will be oblivious of time passing because your attention is fully on the Nama. Our attention sometimes is on Nama and sometimes is we are thinking of something. Again we pull it back, again it goes. Again we pull back, again it goes. And it becomes a struggle. And that's why at times it's tiring. But what if the attention gets locked on the Nama? So that happens, we have limitation how much we can fight the distraction on our own. We need strength from the Nama to keep our attention on the Nama. Our strength is limited. How much can we fight our attention, which is always waiting to jump to some other topic? How much can we fight on our own? So we need strength from the Nama. So when we chant attentively, at least few beats, with the intention that Lord, I want to please you, I want my attention on you, I want to serve you. With that mood, and if the Lord is pleased, the Lord gives the strength to keep our attention on the Nama. In English there is saying, rich becomes richer, poor becomes poorer. You know, a person who is rich already, he has money, banks will give him loan, easy loan. A person who is poor, he becomes poorer. So likewise, when our attention gets fixed on the Nama, then we get a special taste. That special taste will enable us to keep our attention again on the Nama. Where if we are already poor, already we are struggling, the mind is going here and there. And the Nama also will be, what is this? I am coming, I have descended for him, but he is not paying attention, he is going here and there. So, and why I said that transcendental dissatisfaction should happen, because never ever there is a limit to how soulfully, how feelingly we can chant. There's no limit. That way it is not hackneyed, it's not boring. Sometimes you do an activity, have reached the limit. There's nothing to look forward to, nothing more to achieve. It's not like that. Yes, maybe mindful, attention on the Nama, it's very much possible. Mindful japa is very much possible. But soulful, with feelings, with devotion, with love, with bhavas, transcendental feeling, there is no limit to it. And if we do our chanting attentively, all what the Bhagavatam is talking about is not only possible in this lifetime, very shortly. What is that talking about? They can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though they have only heard once. We'll develop taste for Nama. We'll wait, when can I pick up the beads and chant? Today, if we finish our rounds and then we pick up the beads the next day morning, that means that longing and the taste has not developed. It's a commitment which we have taken, which is good. We are keeping up that commitment. But how I can chant more, how I can, that longing, that desire, that intense attraction is not there. And till what time can we go on? 5 minutes? We have Purna Ahuti, na, after that. So what time is that? Okay. So, I'll share with you one very nice thing which I have invariably in some occasions. Some of you would have heard this story. This is about a merchant and 4 wives. How many of you have heard this? The name, it looks familiar. There was a merchant who had 4 wives. And he was very, very attached to. All of you should hear this carefully because I'm going to ask you a few questions after this. You'll have to give an answer based on what I'm saying, so you have to be attentive. So the fourth wife, he was very, very attached. He loved her a lot and spent good amount of time with her. And because he loved her a lot, he was attached to her, whatever her wishes, whatever her desires was, he made sure that they were fulfilled. In one sense, you could say that she was pampered. Pampered means, moment she says that I want this, he will do whatever needs to be done to make sure the demand is or the desire is fulfilled. The third wife, she was very handsome, very beautiful, of all the four wives. And whenever he would go to some parties, social functions or gatherings, he would make sure that he would take his third wife. And with pride, he would introduce, she's my wife. She was very beautiful. But somehow deep within, he had some kind of a fear, nagging fear that one day she might elope with someone because she was beautiful. The second wife, she was very, very loyal. Especially when they were low, he was feeling low, facing some challenges in time. She was always there by his side, supporting him, hearing him out. And the first wife, he never spent any time with her. Even to the extent that even her basic needs were not met. Basic needs like food, clothing, shelter. She was completely neglected. Never spent any time with her. So years rolled by, the time came when he became very old and he was on the deathbed. It started dawning on him that very soon he has to leave. Leave means leave this body and he'll be all alone. So because he had spent time in the company of his wives, so he approached, can anyone guess which wife? Fourth wife. He was very attached, he loved her a lot, spent a lot of time. So he went, whatever we are attached to, we'll think of that at the point of death. So he approached the fourth wife and said, now my time has come, but you know how much I am attached to you. We have spent so much time, I cherish those moments. I want you to accompany me. Can you somehow accompany me? The wife looks at him and very bluntly says, no way, and just walks away. He was completely disappointed hearing that reply from this dearest wife, whom he had spent so much time. He turned to his third wife and then he says, please come with me. And she was, of all the four wives, most handsome. And she was young also. So she said, I know that your time has come, but to tell you very frankly, I have already made plans. I will be marrying someone else. Already it's finalized. So he was shattered. Then he turns to his second wife. He says, please, this time he was begging, pleading, come with me. I need your company. The wife says, yes, I'll come with you. I'll be with you. But I have limitation. Maximum I can come till the graveyard. Beyond that, even if I wish to, I can't. as if someone had pierced a knife in his heart. The pain was unbearable. Completely disheartened hearing those replies. And then he hears a feeble voice, "I will come with you." And when he turns back, who is that? The first wife. Completely emaciated, thin, lean, not eaten for days together, tattered clothes. "I'll come with you. I'll be with you. Don't worry. Wherever you go, I'll accompany you." So each one of us have 4 wives in our lives. Now, we'll go one by one. Each one of you have to think, and based on whatever I described about each wife, you'll have to try to figure out what does those wives represent in our lives. We'll go one by one. The 4th wife, he was very attached. He spent a lot of time with her, pampered her with whatever she wanted, fulfilled all her needs. But when the time came, no way, and walks away. What is that? What is it? Again, please don't answer. Little bit ruminate, think about what those things have been described. Spend a lot of time. What is it in our 24 hours? What is it we spend a lot of time on? Fulfill all the demands. Very attached to. And when the time comes, no way it comes with us. Again repeat. Very attached, spend a lot of time, fulfill all the demands, pamper her. When the time comes, no way it comes with us. Body. We can do some introspection, even as devotees. How much time we spend to fulfill the demands of this body? The tongue's demands, the eyes demand, various other desires, material desires, all related to then the immediate body and the extended body. Aham mameti, I and mine. Beauty saloons, the garment industries, $1 billion industries, cosmetic industry. The hairs. The first thing to burn would be this beautifully combed hairs. So nicely we spend time grooming them. So no way it comes. Maybe the President of America or anybody, no way it can go with you. The 3rd wife was very handsome, very beautiful, and he would take pride. She's my wife whenever we go to social gatherings. And when the time came, she says, "I've already made plans, I'll get married to someone else." What is that? Very handsome, we take pride in showing off. And it gets married to someone else after we depart. Our assets, our properties, wealth. How much we take with us? It gets married to someone else. Somebody inherits. On a lighter note, a man was so attached to his wealth that he took a promise from his wife that, "Please promise me that all the wealth I have should come with me in the coffin. You have to put all the wealth, whatever I have, it should go with me. Please give me this promise." The wife says, "For sure. I'll make sure that all the wealth is put in the coffin so that it goes with you." So the time came, he left the body. A wife was also attached to money, but she had made a commitment also. So when the time came for closing the coffin, she wrote a check and put in the coffin. All the wealth was in the bank. So the second wife, the third wife represents our wealth, assets, properties. How much time we spent in accumulating those assets and taking pride that this is my property, this is my land. And then we show off, this is a Tesla car I just recently bought. So the second wife, she was very loyal, especially when he faced some challenges. She was always there with him to support him. But when the time came, she said, I have limitation. Maximum I can come till the graveyard. Beyond that, even I have limitation. What is that? Our family members. They have limitations. Maximum till the graveyard. And then, this is the most tough question. I'm sure all of you will make a mistake. The first wife, what does that represent? Never spent time, even the fundamental needs were not met. Completely ignored, completely neglected, didn't spend any time with it. What is that? We are having 4 wives. The soul is having 4 wives. So what is the 4th wife? What is the first wife? The Lord in the heart, the Paramatma. How much time do we spend with the Lord? Conscious that the Lord is present. Even if we pray, I'm not talking about us, definitely by Prabhupada's mercy we have some good sense, we are spending good time. But in general, when people, so-called religious people also, they spend time in prayer. The prayer is all about how the other 3 wives should be nicely taken care of. How I can spend good time and quality time with the other 3 wives. My children should be taken care, I should get the properties which I desire. Body should be hale and healthy. So, the living entity in this material world has got completely bewildered. Our attention has got splattered on so many things. Our attention is meant to be on the Lord. That's what Krishna is saying, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanavaja. Think of me, become my devotee. It looks very egoistic. Why is saying, why is demanding? Because that's what we are, part and parcel of Krishna. Our attention is to be on Krishna. But what has happened is our attention is on the body, our attention is on the family, our attention is on our property, our attention is on our wealth, attention is on our family members, attention is on so many things. And hence we are lost. Only by the mercy of a pure devotee, here it said, we can wake up. We can understand that there's a scam. There was once a illiterate villager. He used to till his land. He had some land and he used to somehow manage his expenses. He became old. His son also grew up and he went to the city, started working. So the postmaster in that village, because this person was illiterate, the postmaster approached this person, elderly person, and said, now that you have become old, now that you can't even go and till the land, you have so many financial challenges, why don't you write to your son who is in the city, who's working, he's earning a lot of money. You can write to him, he'll send money every month. So he was reluctant. No, I don't want to ask my son. He has just now moved to the city. He'll also have a lot of expenses. He said, no, 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 no. What you want is nothing. So he wrote one letter. And in the letter, my dear son, so many things. And finally, in the end, I am having some financial challenges. You know that now I can't even go for farming and all that. So would you mind if you could send 1,000 rupees every month to me? And this postmaster, since he had written the letter, is little intelligent, he added one more zero. So 1,000 became 10,000. So the letter was posted. The father signed it. He was illiterate, he couldn't read. The son received the letter. After receiving the letter, he became emotional. My father has written a letter. He has sacrificed so much. He has done so much for me. Although 10,000 was a big amount for him, he started sending money order, 10,000 every month. Who received the money order? The postmaster. And he very promptly delivered 1,000 rupees to the father. So father was happy, the son was happy, the postmaster was happy. It went on for a few months. Father was happy, but the postmaster was not happy. Why? He wanted more. 9,000 is less. The material, one of the symptoms is the more you have, the more you want. That's a symptom of lust. So he again went to the father and he said, it's inflation is there and it's so difficult now to manage with 1,000 rupees, I can understand. Why don't you ask for a little more? Your son can definitely send, he's in a good job. So again he wrote a letter. Again he described that how prices have gone up and all that. And he says, can you please send 2,000 rupees every month? Father was very reluctant, but this postmaster nudged him. He says, no, 2,000 is, I think, required. So he wrote the letter and again he added 10. It became 20,000. So the son received it. He was feeling little difficult to send this thing, but somehow he agreed. And when the money came, he delivered 2,000 to the father and balance 18,000 rupees he had. So then, as we know, in government offices, we have regular audits happening. So they also could figure out disproportionate wealth and whatever his lifestyle was, the postmaster. So the audit happened, and as part of the checking, they figured out that they went to this person and asked, are you getting money order every month? Yes, I am getting. How much you're getting? I'm getting 2,000 rupees. And whereas what was there in the records was 20,000 rupees. Anyway, the scam was busted. So even in our life, we may not be aware. That is the meaning of self-realization. There is a scam going on. What is a scam? The scam is we are wanting happiness. We are wanting happiness. We are shown some happiness. We are given a promise of happiness, just like the promise of 20,000 rupees. But what the person is getting is just a small portion of it. In other words, he's getting cheated. He is not getting what is being promised, what is due to him. So likewise, the living entity in association of the Lord is eligible for a real happiness. Maya is promising that happiness, but what we are getting is something tucham, very insignificant, which is nectar in the beginning but poison in the end. Only a pure devotee, a spiritual master, he comes and bursts this scam. He opens our eyes. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Shlakya. He says that Maya is cheating. This is not how you should be spending your time. This is not what your attention to go on. How, even in Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma is praying, "O Lord, give me your protection so that I am not subject to illusion." This is illusion, illusory world. What is illusion? That which is not, Maya. That what is not real happiness, we have mistakenly thought as happiness. That which is not worthy of our attention, we have given our attention to. So Lord Brahma is saying, although he is a first created being, the most intelligent person, he is praying to the Lord, please give me your mercy so that I don't fall into illusion. What is illusion? Illusion means once we fall into, we don't realize we are in illusion. Just like a drunkard, when he is drunk, he loses his sense. He think whatever he is thinking, whatever he feels, that is the reality. Only when we come out of illusion, we realize that we were in illusion. So, we are very fortunate by Prabhupada's mercy, all the ammunition to come out of this illusion, to break this illusion, to come out of this ignorance, to come out of this cheating which is going on, the cheating by our senses, by our mind, can come out. We can realize where we are going wrong and come back on the track of focusing our attention on Krishna, our consciousness on Krishna. And that is what this whole mission is all about. To be Krishna conscious and also to help others be Krishna conscious. That's the goal of life. We'll stop here. Anyone has any question? Anything like to ask? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantharaj